Man, I can't believe this crap, man. These cops are out here arresting people just for breaking the law. Man, these tyrants are out of control, bruh. I thought you were a lawyer. Now you say you can rap. Well, I listened to your record, made me go take a nap. The rhymes you're spitting out, they make you sound like a nut. Your latest track, it's got less views now than Gun Cereal's butt. Well, you say you're just a man who wants to smoke out some weed, but you smoke yourself stupid, boy. Get the help that you need. You think you could be like Tom McDonald, be an internet star? The problem is your brain's so tiny, it would fit in this jar.
It's a frivolous lawsuit.
You know you're gonna lose.
Frivolous lawsuit.
Now watch me play the blues.
Oh no, my mic's on, sorry, haha.
Frivolous lawsuit.
You put against a cat.
Frivolous lawsuit.
Make sure you wear the hat. All parties have been sworn in. I've read your complaint.
It's a frivolous lawsuit.
The way it's written, it sounds like you've been smoking paint.
That means
if we have
that
title to your shit, we will take it.
Oh, come and take it, bitch.
All right. I want your money and I want your dignity, and I'm taking both.
To quote my good friend Artie, come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch.
Come and take it, bitch.
She was spit in my face.
Take it, bitch.
She was spit in my face.
Take it, bitch.
She was spit in my face.
Take it, bitch.
She was spit in my face.
Take it, bitch.
Take it, bitch.
She was spit in my face.
You're a fucking idiot.
She was spit in my face.
Shot little thick dude.
A woman walks into the ladies' room at the mall. She enters one of these stalls and sits down to begin doing her business. As she starts to pee, she looks down at her shoes and sees a head poking under the stall, looking up at her with a camera. "What are you doing?" she screams, frightened. "I'm recording you," says Denver Metro Audits. "But this is a bathroom," she squeals. "Yes, a public bathroom, and there's no expectation of privacy in public," he tells her. "You don't belong in here," she yelled. "I didn't see any sign saying that," DMA replies. "It says ladies' room right on the door." Maybe it does, but it doesn't say no men allowed, does it?" he asked her. "What? That's stupid," she sputtered. "You're being a Karen about this, and what's stupid is shaving down there," DMA answered, holding his camera up. "If you let that bush grow in, it would create privacy for your hoo-ha like a hedge." She stared down at the activist lying on the filthy floor looking up at her. "A hedge? Look, they should put a lock on that door if they don't want people coming in. They need to create privacy," DMA said. "It says ladies' room. They assume men won't come in here." "Well, they shouldn't assume that. And I can film whatever I can see. It's my First Amendment right as an independent journalist." "Oh, you're a journalist. What are you working on?" she asked, sarcastically, wiping herself. "I can't divulge that information at this time. The story isn't finished yet," he lied as if there were a story. "No expectation of privacy in public," he reiterated. "But I'm in a stall," she cried. "Yes, and look, it's open on the top and the bottom," DMA answered in his thin voice. They need to create more adequate privacy because if I can see it, I can film it. You don't have to like it, but it's my First Amendment right. The conversation droned on like this for a while. The woman on the toilet and DMA on the filthy floor next to the toilet. Finally, the woman says, "Christopher, don't you think this is inappropriate? I'm your mom." And that's a true story. Absolute true story.
Oh, man, I love that. It was great. Good morning, everyone. Right? It's funky. Ain't no doubt about that. It's not a duck. It's a platypus. How y'all doing, everybody? Welcome back to the channel over by there. And how you guys doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's funny because I had somebody in my comments, a pro frauditor, giving me a hard time about my stupid chicken hat. I'm like, it's a platypus, you idiot. And the original one, that's the hot one. That one, it's now that I'm in Florida, it's way too hot to wear that. But I don't know. Maybe if I got the right offer, I'd put it on for a while and sweat like a pig dog. Anyway, how y'all doing this morning? Good to see y'all again. Always a good time having you guys here. Platypuses don't exist. They're like birds, right? They're just hidden cameras. Conspiracies. Yay. So I got, this morning's coming up pretty nice out here. Coming to enjoy. I don't know if you guys noticed, I finally decided that I'm going to make the morning thing a regular thing for me because it's been working out great and you guys seem to enjoy it. So I made an actual, I actually made a thumbnail for it. And I don't know if you noticed on my intro, I put a couple different songs on there. It's still all my stuff, but the other ones have samples of like Schrodinger's Cat and Team Skeptic, and I put that Doc Danger bit in there. So that's good. All right, Pack. Anyway, today there's actually quite a bit to go over. I want to start by sharing something with you guys in case you weren't aware. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, I'm going to show you Kick's new video where I know I don't normally cover Chili, but this is brilliant. He mailed a cease and desist or emailed a cease and desist to Team Skeptic, and then Kick did a dramatic reading of it, and it's brilliant. So if you don't know, I want you guys to see it. It's fantastic. Let's see. Let me share that. Get this off and get that on. Here we go. Let's see. This is awesome. If you guys haven't seen this, this is so good, so good. All right, just gotta set it up real quick. All right, check this out. 1 a.m. in the Netherlands. I don't know any Dutch, but Ragical taught me some. Well, he taught some on his channel once, but I forgot. Anyway, welcome. Good to see you. Check this out.
Welcome back for another love letter reading from Delete Laws. Today's edition has been sent to Team Skeptic, dated 31 August 2022 at 2:08 p.m.
To the channel known as Team Skeptic, this is your official warning. Cease and desist. Remove every video of mine today. Or within the next 2 weeks, you're next. And I'll win. It'll take 3 weeks. I have all the evidence to end your channel. I have dozens of death threats and threats of harm that you harbor. That shit might fly in state court. It's not gonna fly in federal court. Stipulations to avoid legal action. 1. Remove all videos that use my name or brand for your financial benefit. Look up benefit. You'll learn that by using my name to profit, you've created a benefit for yourself, while my channel has received degrading and financial loss. You won't. I can't wait to sue your ass. Kate is done. Watch what happens over the next 2 weeks. You're my next target. And this is what I'm doing the rest of the year. I'll sue several of you, And I'm so disturbed by you promoting violence against me and promoting degrading my brand and benefiting financially. There's not enough hours in the day to do the things I'm doing. I'm running you all down, all of you. This is Jose M. De Castro, aka Delete Laws. Chili De Castro, you're next. I can't wait. I took the last month and learned so much. You're cooked.
Thank you for joining us for another dramatic reading of Love Letters from Delete Laws. Remember, be well and be good to each other.
You're my next target.
Who the hell does this guy think he is?
All right. So that's that. And I just thought that was hilarious. And then for any of you who don't know, there's already people talking about it in the chat. But if you don't know, there's this thing, and I will show it right here. It's called The Grifties. And it is I have the pinned comment on top is the link to this website. And as you can see here, this is the second annual Grifties Awards, the award for the ultimate grifter. And anyone could go on there and vote. And right now, look at this. Chili De Castro's in second place. So all we got to do is get some more people. All you got to do is come in. When you get to the website, you scroll down a little bit. You see these yellows? That's how you vote. You click on a yellow. You get the yellow next to Chili. Click on that. And maybe we could get him into first place and he'll win the Ultimate Grifter of the Year award for 2021. Yeah, because 2022 is when they give the award. Whatever. It's awesome. So I'm glad that he's doing good. Hopefully he'll get his reward. Hello, Salacious. Welcome. And yeah, by the way, I haven't said hello to everybody. Let's scroll back in the chat. C's all here. Just another nut. Good to see you. Archangel 3. What a proper belch. Yeah, that was, for those of you who weren't here, when I first started, I didn't know my microphone was still on and I burped and everybody got to hear it nice and loud. Pat Dagler, Chelsea May, Dib, Brian Showman, Team Kruger, commentator, auditor. Always good to see you. Pack, always great. And let's see, who else did I not mention? We got Advance, and Internet God. Yes. Ikis, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah. So glad to have everybody here with me this morning. Make sure you get in your vote for Chili. Let's put him in first place. He could win the Grifter Award. That would be fantastic. So, something really interesting I've been seeing, and I wanted to kind of go over this a little bit with you guys. So, apparently, Long Island Audit has been actually trying to actually do something other than wobbling his camera around and harassing people. Now, he's still wobbling his camera around and harassing people, and he's still, playing the game. But a few days ago, he actually posted himself doing, eye kiss, I get it. Thank you. So I saw he did a video where he actually did a ride along with some cops. And that actually is some pretty serious stuff. I mean, imagine someone like Josh Abrams or Chili or any one of these guys, being offered a ride from the cops, not handcuffed in the back seat, right? They'd be like, screw you, you stupid pig. I ain't no bootlicker. I ain't going to do a ride along with you. But Long Island Audit actually did it. And then he posted a video just the other day. I'm going to show it here in a minute. We're going to watch it together. I have already watched it once, where he was actually asked to give a lecture at a class for police about First Amendment auditors. And what's interesting to me is that, on one hand, I actually admire and respect the fact that he's doing these things. Like, again, he's not just filming stuff and complaining about it. He's saying, hey, I want to, bridge the gap with the people and the cops. So he's actually physically taking some sort of action towards that goal. However, as you listen to the speech he's given the cops, he's basically giving the same fraud-splaining speech he always gives. Now, in the end of it, they show a clip from a video he made where this cop, trespasses him, and then the other cop comes in and reads the report that the cop made, and the cop's report is quite different from what happens in the video, which anytime something like this happens, it drives me a little bit nuts, because it just adds fuel to the fire of the frauditors to say, see, he lied on the report. See, here's the proof in the video. But again, the fact that he's actually making some sort of an attempt, even though to me it's just fraud splaining as always, him just saying the same nonsense he always says, just stating it as fact to the cops to try and train them and educate them on what he's doing or whatever. The fact that he's actually legitimately going into a class with police and trying to do that his way, again, I may not agree with his way, but it is an attempt. And I gotta respect the fact that he's taking it a little bit more into the level of actually doing something other than being a nuisance. So we're going to look at that. I wanted to share that with you guys just because, I even commented on the video. I'm like, dude, I'm supposed to hate you. Quit doing stuff like this. You keep doing stuff like this, I might have to start respecting you. I didn't say I do, but I said I might start. I don't know. But I want to see what you guys think about this, because a lot of the things he says, like, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, it's a lot of the same nonsense he always says anyway. So here's a speech he gave to the cops at the police class on First Amendment auditors. And thank you. I'm glad you like my platypus hat. Here we go.
Names and badge numbers.
I need my ID.
I'm just kidding. I already have the sign-in sheet. So. All right. As you all know, my name is Sean Paul Reyes, aka Long Island on it. I run a Facebook page, YouTube page, TikTok, whatever. All of it combined, over 400,000 people now via TikTok in there. A lot of people are interested in my videos and the content that I bring them, and my whole purpose behind my videos, behind my channel, and I say in each one of my videos before I start, is to peacefully exercise my First Amendment right to film in public and publicly accessible areas, as well as promote transparency and accountability within our government, and to ensure that our public servants and public officials respect our rights and treat us with respect. Every video that I do, I say that right before I start, just so not only, for the video and to remind everybody what the purpose is, but to remind myself, right? Remind myself, what is the purpose of this video? A lot of the times I don't just go in and just record. I do FOIA requests, I do open records requests for transparency, see how much the government officials are getting paid. I do open records requests for credit card statements. Any type of publicly accessible documents, I like to look at them
and
compare them to
pay
how
attention
much is the average citizen in this
to
country.
because right now he's just babbling about why he does FOIAs, but
It's all for me about
pay attention to
transparency,
how he spends
accountability
such
of
a
the
lot of
government,
the time
which
basically just advertising himself and his channel and what he does, and then again sort of fraud splaining the reasons why. And although, like I said, I kind of respect that he's trying to do something, it doesn't seem like he's actually accomplishing anything other
I
than
know I probably should have
making excuses for why he's the way he is.
But you know, the stats from my county, Suffolk County, Long Island, they range from, you know, as low as probably $120,000 a year for a law enforcement officer. The highest paid law enforcement officer is a police officer, not a sergeant, a regular police officer, and he made $700,000 in 2020. So,
Holy crap!
yeah. So, you know, if you guys would like to apply, you guys seem like, you know, great officers. So I would love to have you in my county. You can make some good money. You might need an Italian last name.
Yeah, Kruger, I agree.
Okay.
She took a new one, but she got one now.
So, yeah, an absurd amount of money in my county. We pay a lot of taxes. You know, I own my home and pay an absurd amount in property taxes. I think the average property tax is around $10,000 a year, all the way up to if you're living in the Hamptons or an area like that.
Hey, Script, he was actually asked to speak at he's talking to the police. This is a class on First Amendment auditors, and they asked him to give a lecture.
They paid a lot of money, you know, that he's just a regular police officer that gets that 700,000. There's police officers 400, 300, you know. To put that in perspective, the president of the United States makes $400,000 a year. So, you know.
I don't remember which department this is, but he was just arrested by this department the other day. So whoever arrested him, it's them.
A quick reminder for the disclaimer he had. Nothing I say is legal advice for anybody watching the video of this. It's not legal advice. You know, I'm an attorney. Didn't go to law school. Just an informed citizen on my rights. And
I'm not an attorney. I didn't go to law school. No shit.
Just my opinions on things. Also wanted to thank the safety director, Detective Bannock, and the chief for inviting me here. This is something that I have never seen before. A First Amendment auditor at a police department, you know, doing a guest speaking. I've watched First Amendment audits for a very long time, even before I got started, a little over a year and a half ago. And I have never seen a First Amendment auditor stand in the police department in a restricted area like this.
Without handcuffs on.
Exactly, without handcuffs on. My wrist still hurt a little bit from 3 days ago, so I'm glad they're healing up.
Yeah, Monday we were talking, the city was down in Hagerstown, West Virginia, and I said, please, whatever you do, don't get arrested. I need you here on Friday. He said, oh, no, that's not the intent. Wednesday, he's picked up, locked up.
Yep.
Can't fall off.
As soon as those bracelets went on my wrist, I thought of Sergeant Bannock here. I was like, oh man. First, I was kind of mad at him because I'm like, he jinxed me. I hadn't been arrested in a long time before that, so I was like, wow, you know, it's never the goal to get arrested. No one wants to have their freedom taken from them for any reason. But sometimes in the pursuit of freedom and exposing tyranny, you have to be arrested. It's just part of what's going on. It's part of what has to happen to, you know, go into a court system and change the law and uphold the law. And even then, sometimes I'll show you this video. Even then, sometimes it's just not good enough. So, like I said, I was raised on Long Island, New York. Started watching First Amendment audits a while ago, probably 10 years ago. You know, I always was just very fascinated of the psychology of it. You know, why would people get so upset over a camera? You know,
Here we go.
In this room right now, right? But I bet, and you know, in the class before this, you know, everybody was like, "Oh, there's a lot of cameras in here," right? But no one
comparing
no one ever said
surveillance cameras to him,
all the time.
as always.
You know, there's cameras all over, right? There's cameras in private businesses all over.
Ironton Auditor, good to see you.
Walls, administrative buildings. There's cameras everywhere watching our every move. And those are public record that anybody can get.
But they don't.
From, you know, so I always thought, like, what makes a man holding a camera outwardly, what makes that so offensive to people or scare people more than anything else, especially if
All right, real quick, let me address that because that's one of the issues I had with this whole thing was he does get some questions, but not many, and not the ones I would be asking. And just now, well, I don't understand. What's the difference between security cameras and a random guy holding a camera? Well, anyone who's ever, spent any time on the planet Earth knows that if you're filming and you're a random person with your phone, you could take that footage home and do anything you want with it, right? Yeah, you could FOIA request the security footage, but what's the security footage gonna do? And first of all, how many people are doing that? Like, I don't understand how he can't understand there's a difference. And the fact that he's telling these guys there's no difference, and they're like, oh, okay. These are the cops. They're the ones that are supposed to be telling them, yeah, but I guess this is supposed to be a class, so they're just supposed to listen. Whatever. Let's hear him flap his lips some more.
Polite man like me, I'm very polite. I never really
Polite.
understood it, so that's why I decided. I was a logistics director for a manufacturing company before I started First Amendment auditing full time. I was furloughed from the pandemic, bored out of my mind, and I said, you know what? Let me go exercise my rights. Let me see. I've never seen it done in my area before, or it wasn't really being done at that time in the Northeast. Period. So I went to my local police department headquarters, and I was filming outside. Didn't even make it inside. I was filming outside, and I was filming. They have military vehicles. They had police cruisers, a whole bunch, different types.
So what are you teaching the cops here? Your history and why you're a jerk? Okay.
And
I don't
grabbed me,
think they care.
circled me in, demanding ID, backing away. They backed me into a corner. And this is my first audit ever. And I'm like being circled in like I'm being circled by lions. And I didn't know what was going on. My heart's racing, and I'm just spitting out things that I heard on front. I don't consent to searches and seizures. I'm filming in public. I have the right to film in public. What are you doing? Stop! Like, I'm basically just regurgitating everything I've heard, and hopefully something sticks. I'm alive.
So now he's telling the story of his first audit, and I've seen the video he's referring to, and he's kind of painting the picture slightly differently than what actually happened. But again, let's just look at the first thing he says. These guys come up to me and they're demanding ID. I've seen a million Frauditor videos, including his, and the cops ask for your ID, and I don't know what world he's from, but in the world I live in, it's like, what's so horribly difficult and evil about them asking you for your ID? I still don't get why that's such a big, major hubbubaloo for these guys. Cops come up to you. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm filming. Hey, you got ID? No, I don't answer questions. Well, of course they're going to think you're acting weird. Of course they're going to. How can you not understand that? Well, he does. He's just a disingenuous douchebag.
A lot calmer now, but I was just like, what are you doing? No searches, no seizures. I don't know how many times I might have said that, but they circled me around, and as I turned around, I saw somebody make like a furtive movement, and I saw one of the officers I'm like, oh man, like this is not going to end well for me. I ended up leaving that situation without being arrested, but what happened that day was, maybe if that never happened, maybe I wouldn't be standing in front of you today. But because it happened, it ignited a fire inside of me to want to expose tyrants like that. They were tyrants. There was no other word. You can feel the evil of people. You guys are law enforcement. I'm sure you guys deal with evil people all the time, right? So you can feel it. There's certain situations where an officer will walk in, and I can feel it, and I can see it in their eyes. I can see, this is not going to end well for me. that's how I felt on Tuesday, and look what happened. You know, should have listened to Detective Bannock here. Definitely not a good idea.
What's amazing too, Sean, is when you watch, I've watched every video except for 2.
Did you hit the like button?
I usually don't.
Oh, man.
Yay!
I'm too busy clicking forward to the next one.
On duty, you couldn't like it.
But, you know, after watching, and on his channel and other channels that I've watched, there's probably like 5 of them that I've watched, you know, on a regular basis, but you can see that show through, that aggression in certain cops, and you know immediately. Like when Sergeant Fahey come out, as soon as, by then I could see it ahead of time, and as soon as he came out of that door, I said, "Uh-oh." I knew what was gonna happen. I knew whatever was gonna happen wasn't good, but you could see it.
Yeah, so, you know, it ignited fire in me.
All right, real quick, I want to put this into some sort of context for you guys. So, what happened was, I guess, because he just posted this yesterday, and he's talking about 3 days ago, so I guess it was probably like 5 days ago by now. But so what happened was, he got arrested, and of course he was filming, and the cop had his body cam, and at the end of this, they show it. I don't know if I'm going to get into that because it's whatever. But what happens is the cop fills out a report about what happened. He fills out his report, and the cop's report does not match the video. Like the cop really did, like, oh, he was filming and I asked him to leave, and then I gently asked him to move back, and kind of, because he had his phone in his hand, and I heard that phones can be modified to be tasers, so I was afraid he was going to tase me, so I sort of pushed the phone away. And then you watch the video, and the cop's like, "Get out of here!" And he pushes him and knocks his phone out of his hand. And so that's why this police department agreed to have him come in and give a lecture. And that's why the cops are kind of just like sitting there and actually listening to him babble, because it's like, okay, in this particular case, the cop was wrong. They're admitting he was wrong. And so they're letting this guy, you know, come out and do his thing to try and, I don't know, the motivation of the police department, but I would assume it would be to, you know, not get a lawsuit over this. But anyway, that's the context of what's going on here. Because, and I'll always say this, and I always have, if the cops do something wrong, I'm not here to just blue line all day, no matter what. I don't care what anybody says or does. If a cop does something wrong, they did something wrong, right? It's the idiots that bait people, and especially, you know, like him. And it's going to come up in a few minutes. He's going to talk about it, like the no expectation of privacy in public thing, which always drives me nuts. Because if someone just as a fellow human being asks not to be on film, why is it so difficult not to film them? Why does it have to become a First Amendment, freedom of press, no expectation of privacy? But why can't it just be as two humans to each other out of respect saying, oh, you don't want to be filmed? Fine, no problem. I'll turn the camera the other way. Or when I post my video and I edit it, I'll blur your face out. Like, why is that so difficult for these guys? And he tries to fraud-splain it later on. You'll see.
To expose tyrants everywhere, and I started traveling around my county, you know, running into the same sort of situations, demanding ID without any lawful reason, you know, putting their hands on me, just treating me like a piece of garbage. And, you know, I uploaded that first video to TikTok. That's how it all started. Went to sleep, woke up, my wife wakes me up and she says, you know, the video has 200,000 views. And I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And then, you know, a day later it had 4 million views. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I started a YouTube channel and I started uploading longer format videos there. And, you know, I started gaining subscribers and views and everything. And I'm like, wow, people are interested in what I'm doing here. I never, who would think, you know, I would never think that. But, you know, if you would have told me 2 years ago I would be a First Amendment auditor speaking at a police station, I would have never believed you. First of all, I'm like a First Amendment auditor. I wouldn't have done that. Speaking at a police station as a First Amendment auditor, Impossible. It's never happened. I've watched all First Amendment audit videos. It's never happened before. I'm friends with a lot of First Amendment auditors. You know, I don't do audits with them because I like to control the situation, right? I like to make sure that I can only control myself. So it's bad enough that I have to deal with, you know, the public, the law enforcement that may have.
All right, sorry. I also wanted to comment on that real quick. I do it by myself because I want to control the situation. And that's always been my stance from day one. The whole name and badge number, you know, what is this? I'm not going to give you, it's all about control, right? The auditor wants to control the situation. And he just said it. He just flat out admitted it. He wants to be in control of the situation.
You know, ulterior motives and want to escalate a situation. But if I have, you know, if I'm going in there with 3-4 people, I feel like that's already escalating the situation and I can't control what they're going to say or do. So I like to go alone. Maybe it's to my detriment, but so First Amendment audit to me is, like I said, every time I start my video, transparency and accountability, just peacefully exercising my rights. And, you know, the First Amendment grants us freedom of press, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion. You know, the First Amendment is not just about recording, right? It's the recording aspect is news gathering, which is why every time a law enforcement officer comes up to me, I don't say, mind your business. I don't do any of that. I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story. And the next question I come out of the mouth, where's your credentials? So I want to make this clear. There is no set of credentials.
All right. And now I have to comment on that. Oh, man. Okay. So, what did he just say? I'm a First Amendment activist, whatever. I'm just filming, gathering content for a story. And of course, I'll never share what my story is, blah, blah, blah. And he gets into that in a minute. But here's my thing. And this is one of the biggest problems I have with these idiots and even this guy in this particular situation. Okay. What's the story you're working on? Let's break it down to your point of view from what you would say if I were to sit and talk to you, because I've sat and talked to some of these guys. I talk to Rogue Nation. I talk to Audit Them, you know, and I hear the interviews they do with Frauditor Troll and all this other stuff. And even this guy, they always say, well, I'm working on a story. Okay, what's the story? Well, it's the reaction I get. Okay, so why do you always complain when you get a reaction if the story is the reaction? Like, the whole reason you go there is to get a reaction. You're fishing for one. You're baiting for one. This particular frauditor does it in a very calm manner, but it's still the same thing. The story is the reaction. Without the reaction, there is no story. So when they're working on a story, they're saying, I'm trying to get you to freak out. And then when you freak out, I'm going to, oh, why is he freaking out? I don't understand. That's what you came there for. Oh.
Credentials. The federal government does not issue credentials. I can make credentials on this paper right here with crayon. I mean, that would probably be suffice. There is no government agencies that issues press credentials. You can get them from CNN, you know, I could make one, sure, but what valid, you know, there's no authority behind it. The only authority you need is the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, which grants everyone the right of freedom of press and news gathering. So the next question they ask is, what's your story about? You know, I never tell them what the story is about because I don't want to influence how the story is going to play out. I don't want them to act differently. There's a reason why I don't use, you know, big cameras that would make me look more official. You know, I just use a phone. It's to come off as a citizen journalist, right? That anybody can pick up the phone, pick up a camera phone, and record the police or record their government officials to see, you know, what they're doing for transparency purposes. The people, Not everybody can get one of those big cameras or anything. So freedom of press is very important. And a lot of you have the right to film in public. And a lot of people who are against the First Amendment and First Amendment auditing in general, they like to use there's a public forum doctrine, which means there's three different distinctions. There's traditionally public forums.
All right, so now he's gonna get into this whole thing about the public forum, traditional public forum, blah blah blah, and try to sort of like fraud explain how that doesn't apply to press and media. But again, and this is because I saw somebody. What is this? The spicy peach. Maybe they want the cops to know people's right. Oh no, that's not the one. I was in the post office and I didn't see one person recording, nor do I feel need to whip out my camera. See, this is the thing. Saying that you want to educate people and to educate people about our rights and this and that. Once again, it comes down to, yes, you just said it, because you can. Because you can do something. What is that? The way these guys act, it's like they believe that our rights are being trampled on. And there are these horrible, evil, tyrant cops that are destroying our rights every day. Why? Because what? They think every single person in the world at all times should film everything they do? Like, who goes into a post office and films other than these guys? Well, you need to respect our right to do that. What, the two people in the 30 years I've been working at the post office that came in with a camera? We have to change our policies and re-educate and do this and that because two idiots are trying to make money on YouTube? Oh, well, you're standing in front of the police station filming. Okay. So, hey, how you doing? Good, how are you? Pretty good, what's up? Oh, I'm just filming for my YouTube channel. Oh, okay. Why does that have to be a problem? Well, I have the right to do that. Nobody said you didn't. But if you're not purposely going out of your way to fish and bait for a negative reaction, then why can't you just, okay, I'm filming for my YouTube channel. I can't tell you what my story's about. Why? Because I want to look suspicious so that you'll freak out. But no, he's fraud explaining, well, I don't want to change the way they're going to react because the story is the reaction. Which is admitting that you're fishing for a reaction. It's not about educating people about rights. It's about trying to get a negative reaction so you get tons of clicks and views so you make money. Seems pretty obvious to me.
Which would be parks and sidewalks. That's where our rights are the strongest. On a sidewalk, in parks,
Yeah, I know.
protest, you can hold signs.
Yeah, I know.
There's limited public forums. Limited public forum would be police station. We're in a limited public forum right now. It's public property, but it's a limited public forum, as well as libraries, post offices, what else on here? City hall, town hall, village hall.
Yeah.
All those are limited public forums.
Right.
But the public forum doctrine applies to freedom of expression and freedom of speech activities. For example, and it limits that right with reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions, as you saw in Detective Bannock's presentation. And I agree with that, because if 40 people came into your lobby here and wanted to, shout F the police, how is everything ever going to get done? Or if you go into a library and, people are screaming and, exercising their freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, and they're disturbing the business and disturbing the peace, obviously, there's a purpose to a library. That's not the purpose of a library. So I could understand that, and I agree with that. But what people don't understand is that
I'm sorry. This is the other problem, okay? Because there are people who, even like, for those of you who saw it, when I did my Frauditor iceberg video, I didn't put Long Island at the bottom. I put them near the top because Ironton, I put you like way at the top. You're like number one. Um, Good guys, the deeper you go on the iceberg, the worse it is. Long Island audit is a little bit. Um, I'm still a little on the fence of whether he's above or below Amagansett Press. I would put him above Amagansett actually, because Amagansett just audits random people and looks for excuses to pepper spray people. I've never seen, Long Island pepper spray anybody. Um, so he's not super bad, but he's selling this whole idea of the First Amendment audit. Like, you cops have to understand that when you see an auditor, just leave them alone and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, I watch all the auditors. Oh, so you're talking about SGV News? You're talking about Glenn Serio? You're talking about Eli? You're talking about Peter Libre audits? You're talking about KC Camera Boy? You're talking about Silence Boy? These people are absolute scuzz of the earth. But we're not going to mention them. We're just going to talk about me because you're here talking to me. But I thought you were supposed to teach them about First Amendment audits, but instead he's just going on and on with the same nonsense he always says, except now he's saying it to cops instead of to his audience. And they're a captive audience because the department is making them listen to this speech. Blah, blah, blah.
Publishing versus Eichel, the Third Circuit Court ruled that freedom of press activities are distinct from freedom of expression activities. For example, it's not governed by the public forum doctrine, the traditionally limited and non-public forum, which I didn't mention. A non-public forum, this would be a non-public forum, this area, because this is not open to the public. The public can't get here in a publicly accessible way. For example, another non-public forum would be a school. You can't just walk into a school and have a right to be in a school. A jail, you can't just go into jail. I mean, I do it all the time, but you can't just walk in. So freedom of press, and I never understood why, some prosecutors and some people that I like to refer to as bootlickers, they like to say that, it's being covered by public forum doctrine, because I'm like, what is it, how does quietly recording news gathering, affect the business? How does that affect the business of, the library or anything else? So in PG Publishing v. Eichel, the court states that it shouldn't be governed by public forum doctrine, but by the right of access. So they basically said that the freedom of the press does not have any more access than the public. They don't get any special privileges, the press. But they also have the same exact right as the public. Anywhere the public is permitted, the press is permitted. So, I do city halls, I do town halls, police department lobbies. If I am generally allowed to be there, I'm allowed to be there and news gather and record.
And that is the key. That was the main thing I wanted to address with this. This is the main reason I wanted to show it, is because of the point he just made right there. Okay? I'm here because I have the right to news gather and do this and do that. And thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it, Brian. Thank you for an objective analysis, no dualism. Well, hey, you know what? Like I said, I saw this and I saw him do the ride along the other day. And like I said at the beginning, it's like, even though I still for me, as someone who does this, who exposes frauditors all the time, right? I see through what he says. I see what he does versus his narrative, right? I always say they build a false narrative, this and that. But again, I will also admit that one, he's nowhere near as bad as a lot of the other guys. And two, the fact that he's giving this speech, whether I agree with what he's saying in it or not, or the way he's saying it or whatever, the fact that he, and I said this before, if anyone missed it, it's the fact that he actually is trying to do something beyond filming stuff and getting paid, filming stuff and getting paid. Like, because there's so many who do that, especially Amagansett Press. His whole life is just going on the street, filming random people, making them mad on purpose, you know. But the point with Long Island Audit and what he just said and what I wanted to point out and is the main contention I have with him is if I'm in a place where I have a right to film, what's the problem? It's not that you don't have a right to be there. It's not that you don't have a right to film. It's not that any of these rights are being violated or not. It's the whole point that if someone says, can you please not film me? I don't like being filmed. You can't just, I'm not talking about legal or illegal. I'm not talking about rights or no rights. I'm just talking about basic human decency, empathy, and respect. You can't just say, okay, I won't film you, or okay, I'll blur your face out on my video. No, you have to argue with them about the laws and about your rights. It's like the more you ask me not to film you, the more I'm going to go out of my way to focus my camera specifically on you. And I've seen this not just from other frauditors. You could go back and watch some of the videos I've done on Long Island audits. Okay. And I've broken it down and showed how he will film someone, no reaction, move to the next guy, no reaction. Next guy gives him a look. I'm going to get a reaction out of this one. And he just stops. And now he's not just filming in City Hall anymore. Now he's focusing on that person and just waiting because he knows they're going to react. He's going to get that reaction and make that sweet, sweet money. Get them clicks and views, baby. That's what it's about. Feelings. Oh, yeah. And that's another thing. Talking about the feelings police and my feelings. When a frauditor feels like you're entering their personal space, now all of a sudden their feelings need to be enforced. Now they're going to start grabbing at the pepper spray. You got too close to me. You touched my camera. Now their feelings matter. Now the cops have to enforce their feelings because they don't feel comfortable the way the people are reacting to them filming. It's a double standard. When I'm filming you and you don't like it, it's too bad. Your feelings, you're just a snowflake. You're just a Karen. Ugh. But if you say to them, hey, don't film me, well, I feel like I could do whatever I want. And that's okay when it's the frauditor's feelings, right? In fact, the video I'm working on right now is all about how in most of these videos, the actual tyrants are the frauditors. You're dismissed. Go back to work. I'm done with you. Barking orders at people because they're public servants. They treat them like public slaves. Guess what? Slavery is illegal in America. You hate this country so much, get out. Because we do have freedom, and you idiots are trying to limit it. Even though you don't think of it that way, you're just thinking about all that big, big money you're getting. You don't care about rights or freedom because what you're doing is going to limit our freedom. Because the only way to slow you idiots down is to pass laws to make it harder to film, which nobody wants to film except for you idiots. If you're literally, and this goes back to the whole false narrative building, if you're literally just walking down the street, filming, oh, look at that cool architecture, I want to get a shot of that. And somebody walks by and says, hey, what you doing? Oh, I'm just filming the building for my YouTube channel. You know, they'll probably say, oh, cool. They might even say, "Oh, hey, can I be on your film? Hey, hi, mom," whatever. But when you're doing that, supposedly doing that, and someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And you say, "I don't answer questions. Get away from me." And then you zoom in on their face. "I don't answer questions. I have a right to film." And they're, I just asked, what is all this now all of a sudden? That's not fishing? That's not baiting? That's not insane? Give me a break. Oh, well, I kiss. I'm sorry. Good luck. Thank you. I mean, yeah. Good luck, man. I hope everything turns out great. I'll pray for you. Um, I'm sorry, I just read this. This is a good one. You're lucky you have glasses on because you're too close to the screen and I'm too close to the camera, so I'm going to pepper spray you. And there's a couple things that I advocate for when you run into frauditors on the street, if you ever do. Um, One of them is the idea of purposely going out of your way, if you ever run into one of these guys in the wild, to purposely go out of your way to break their bubble and get as close as you can to them without touching them. Because no matter what, they will react. Because nobody, and especially them, because I see it in their videos all the time, they hate it when people break their bubble, when people get close to them. What I advocate for is to get as close as you can without touching them. And then when they say something, say, "I got in your personal space. Is that a felony or a misdemeanor?" "Come on, back up. You're in my personal space." "Oh, you're a tyrant? You're going to tell me where to stand in public?" Flip it on them. "I'm going to pepper spray you." "I didn't touch you. Then I'll get you for assault." Flip it on them. They always want to, especially Craig from CH and Tie Audits, they want to flip the script on the cops. Well, you flip the script on the frauditor. There's no I'm came back, you came back. And whenever someone films them, and that's another, they hate it when other people film them. They hate it. The video I'm working on right now has a section where this guy is saying, "You look like an idiot just standing there with the camera filming me." You're an idiot standing there with a camera filming him. So he looks like an idiot just standing there filming, but you don't look like an idiot just standing there filming? What? What is that? What in the hell is that? Oh my goodness gracious me. I just did lost it. I'm going to put that there for a minute. Let me fix my hair. And another thing that I advocate for, and this, I know that this, especially in certain scenarios, could be somewhat of a controversial thing. However, I know for a fact it would work. You see a frauditor in the wild and he points his camera at you. I know. But for those who've never heard me say this, I'm going to keep repeating it because I advocate for it. And also the word fraud splaining. I'm pushing that word when frauditors try to tell you why they're doing what they're doing. They're fraud splaining, right? Because they always want to say cop splaining. I want to say fraud splaining. So somebody comes, "Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I think I got a visitor. Come here. Hey, guys. Say hello. Come here, boy. Say hi to my fans. They're all watching. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Wave to them. That's my boy. Oh, he just woke up now. He's chilling with his old man. Do you know the Third Amendment? Say no quartering.
What?
Say, I like Led Zeppelin song No Quarter, and it's the Third Amendment. So there.
Suck my butt.
No! Get out of here. I can't believe you would even think to say something like that. Oh. That was almost a beaten scenario right there. Anyway.
I didn't mean it, guys.
I know you didn't mean it because he's just trying to be funny because he knows he's on TV. Anyway, maybe I'm not going to finish the story I was telling because.
No, you can finish your story. I didn't want to talk to you anyway. Just
I didn't
came out to you.
I know, but you can overhear what I'm saying, and I was about to say something that's not necessarily appropriate for children.
Okay.
All right, go in my room. Yeah, go over in the other room for now. Let me finish what I was saying. So, what I was saying is that you run into one of these idiots in the wild, and they're filming you, and you want them to stop. What I advocate for, and again, I understand this could be a controversial idea, but I also know for a fact it would work. They're pointing their camera at you. You don't want them to film you. You pull up some porn on your phone and hold it in front of their camera. Now, not only can they not monetize it, they can't even put it on YouTube. Oh, you just a naked picture of somebody. Boom, stick it in their camera. Now they have to stop filming you. They can't monetize it. They can't post it. You just completely destroyed their audit. Done. And that would work. But anyway, he woke up about an hour earlier than normal, so I guess I'm gonna go get breakfast started. But thank you guys for coming out. And I am Poster 7. I have no idea. What are you talking about? I've never heard of such a thing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We're all adults here. Come on now. Yes, the Third Amendment. And that's okay. So wait, here's the thing. Now they've moved on from that. I don't know if you know, because they realize that the Third Amendment thing is stupid. Because so few people know it because it's a useless amendment, right? At this point, but what they're doing now is they're saying, "Tell me all 5 points of the First Amendment." Right? Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press. What are the other two? Huh? Come on. What are the other two? Assembly and what? But that's what they're pushing now is for that instead of the Third Amendment. But they're lame. Yeah. Like I said, I've decided that on the weekdays this is going to be my normal thing. Every morning I'm going to do this, and because again, so far they're working great. All you guys seem to like it, so I'm going to keep it up. But like yeah, yeah. So again, talk to you guys later and see you. I think Monday's a holiday, right? So I'll probably be back Tuesday. Maybe I'll do something Monday morning, but I'll definitely be back Tuesday morning, and I might pop in and out on the weekends. And of course, you guys will always see me in the chats on all the other Frauditor channels. And we got football season pretty soon, so I'm probably going to bring the Bears fan back doing my Bear reviews. So if you guys are interested in that at all, that'll be on here too. But in the meantime, thanks for coming out. It was good to see y'all. Y'all have a good day. And like I always say at the end of my show, oh, yay, yay. I'm all shook up.